cake, Mama.
Hi everyone, so today I'm going to try one of those easy peasy 5-minute orange cakes. So this is my go-to dessert when I'm so lazy to cook up and do all the mixing with my hands and do everything from scratch. So when I'm so lazy to make a proper cake, this is my go-to because it's very easy. Here I got one orange. Batter and mixture of this cake, everything goes into the blender. I'm going to wash this properly and cut it up. I've cut them up. Make sure you remove the seeds. This one was seedless, so that's pretty good. And I've left some aside for garnishing at the end. And apart from this end bit, I put the rest into the blender. Next, I'm going to add in some sugar. I'll add in about 3.5 tablespoons because I have a sweet tooth. So that depends on your personal preference, how sweet you want the cake to be. I've added in 1 teaspoon of honey and 1 tablespoon of vanilla essence into that as well. About half a teaspoon of cardamom powder. And I'm going to add in some butter, about 75 grams. Then into the blender, I'm going to sift in about 1 cup of flour. So this is the self-raising one that I'm using. Next, I'm going to pour in half a cup of milk into that. In goes 1 tablespoon of baking powder. And I've also added 2 eggs into that. And I'm going to blend it all up together. There we are, and oh my god, the taste and flavor is just so divine. The only thing I'm concerned is that the mixture is too watery. The ideal consistency for the mixture is if it's a little bit more thicker and not so watery. So I'm going to add in about another half a cup of flour. There we go. So another half a cup of flour has gone into the recipe. So in total, I've used about 1.5 cups of flour. It also depends, because though we use just one orange, sometimes one orange might be bigger than the others. Some might have more water content, some might be a bit more riper. So the one I got was very ripe, it was seedless, and it was so juicy. And hence, that's why I had to go ahead and add in a little bit more flour to make the batter a bit more on the thicker side. So every time in cooking, sometimes we can't just go according to a strict sort of a recipe because we might have to add in or take away a little bit depending on the taste and texture. So always we have to watch out how we go. But apart from that, I'm happy with the taste. The taste is so divine, that lovely fresh zesty flavor of the orange. And there it is, that's more like it. See, a much more thicker consistency. You can see that. See, it's very thick, but it's flowy at the same time, but it's got that heaviness to it. And it's not as watery. It's nice, and I don't know how to explain it, but you can see the texture. It's funny because I hardly ever bake cakes, but then I definitely know how the texture is meant to be, because even since childhood, more than having the actual cake, I love to have the batter because it's more tasty. I don't know, maybe everyone is like that to a certain extent when they were kids, but even my kid enjoys, licking onto the batter at the end. So yeah, anyway, I preheated my baking oven at about 160 degrees. I'll be baking this for about 15 to 20 minutes or 10 to 15 minutes. So I'll be taking it out occasionally. I'll poke a knife in, and if it comes out clear, that means the cake is ready. So it's going to be a trial and error method as well. And yeah, about 10 to 20 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, it should be done. I'm going to lightly grease my baking tin all over. I'll just spray some oil on it. And now the lovely batter is ready to go inside. See, this is the texture, flowy yet thick. There we go, so nice thick and airy mixture. It's got that heaviness to it, and it's ready to go into the baking oven. It's been about 15 minutes and this is how it's looking like at the moment. So now it's time to test whether it's cooked inside as well. The best way to do it is take a knife and poke it down all the way till the end. If it comes out clean, that means it's ready, but my knife has not come out clean. You can see it's still raw inside, so I need to keep it back for baking. And there we go, I've left it in there for another 5 minutes. I'm going to do the pokey test again.
This is the cake one, Mama.
And still not ready. Yes, it's a cake, Aryan.
Yes,
Still not ready, so I'm going to keep it back inside. And I'm going to keep doing that at every 5-minute interval until the knife comes out clear and it's ready. Once the cake has reached a desired color on top, what I normally do is, for the top not to get burnt any further, especially when it's not cooked inside, I just cover it and wrap it up with an aluminium foil and place it back into the baking oven. I'm just going to lift it out. Here we are, and this cake took about 45 minutes to bake, and covering up with an aluminium foil was helpful because it helped the cake go down a bit and end up becoming more flatter, and also it helped moisten the cake. So it's with that weight that the cake sunk down a bit and it's flatter now, because before it was risen but at the same time it was a bit dry. So covering it up, the steam helped it nicely moisten. I'm waiting for it to cool down, and then it's time to garnish it and plate it up. Good thing about this is the taste of the batter was very good, and also the smell. The whole house smells like orange. In terms of the garnishing of this cake, first I'm going to garnish it with some icing sugar on top. Nothing fancy, just dusting it on top. And normally this dome uneven shape happens when the oven is not producing even heat. So mine is not a fan force baking oven, and that's why it could happen. And if you don't like the irregular shape, just cut it off with a knife, most probably a bread serrated knife, and then you can just dust on the icing sugar. But I'm just making it at home, so I don't mind it whatever shape as long as the taste is good. And there we are, I've garnished up this lovely beauty. And here what I've done is I've gone ahead and cut up a slice just to show you how it looks like. And there we are, it's nice and moist inside. So definitely it's not going to be a dry cake, it's going to be very moist and soft and yummy. You can see when I press down on it how yummy it is. Nice and soft and spongy. So it's not very dry, it's a little bit on the moist side, but it's very nice and soft as well. So, and mostly it's very flavorsome. Want to have the first bite?
Yeah.
Eat.
Hi.
Hot.
It's going so hot cake, Mama. It's a hot cake, Mama.
It's a hot cake. I thought I cooled it down. Okay, we'll wait for some more time and we'll try and eat it, okay?
Okay. Here the cake, Mama.
You're funny little boy.
Yeah.
You're Mama's boy. Mama's baby?
Mama, baby.
Yeah. I'm cooking so much for you, but you're still so thin.
Because it goes
Yeah, become chubby. Chubby.
Yeah?
Chubby baby.
Every girl should become
I
cotton.
have to be a teddy bear. Mama's cuddly, huggly teddy bear.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah, your skin and bone. See?
Mmm. Mmm. Yum. Yum.
You like it?
Yeah.
So yummy.
Yummy.
Is it soft and sweet?
Yes.
Does it taste like orange?
Yeah.
And apart from that, here it is everyone. Our lovely homemade orange cake is ready. Enjoy. Bye.
Here the cake, Mama.